Hi there, welcome to Neo-Pagan November day 13. Today's prompt is heritage. And this is, Neo-Pagan November is a month-long challenge for the month of November started by Brittany, the Sunshine State Witch. And so today's prompt is heritage. And I could tell you a little bit about my heritage, but I think that would not be as interesting as talking a little bit more about what I think of when I think of heritage, besides where I'm from, where my parents are from, where my grandparents are from. I'm at work, so excuse the garb. But so when I think about heritage, in regards to my practice as a witch, I think about the witches that came before me, and especially the ones that were tried and tested for being witches, and who stood up for themselves and what they believed in, who made it possible to practice in freedom what I practice today here. So I thought I would use my Everyday Witch tarot deck by Deborah Blake and Elizabeth Alba, and I thought I'd ask this message is going to be for everybody, but it's specifically for those who call themselves witches, because it's coming from the witches of old, the spirits of the witches that lived before us. So this is a message from the witches of old for the current witches and for witches that will come. So we are surrounded by the white golden light of the divine masculine and the divine feminine above us and below us, to our left and to our right, in front of us and behind us, all the way around us. We are protected by the white golden light of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and no negativity can pass through this powerful white golden light that is protecting us on all sides. All negativity is reflected off the surface of this white golden light back to the senders, and so it is. So, witches of old, please speak to us today. Show us a card. Inspire a message through the picture, a message that will be fitting for us today as we embrace the heritage of those who came before us, and the strength and courage of those who came before us, who stood up for their beliefs, who stood up for themselves, who stood up for their truths, and who paved the way for us today to practice in freedom. So we have the Five of Wands. So let's just look at the card here for a few moments. It looks like there's a little bit of a problem between these women here, these five women, and they're performing a spell, they're creating magic, they're trying to work together, but they seem to be having difficulty. So what I feel this is telling us from the witches of old, are those who came before us, our heritage as witches, is don't allow the little things between yourselves to spoil the harmony between you. Don't allow your differences to create division between you, between us witches. Let us not allow our differences, let us not allow our different ways of seeing the practice to cause us to argue or to be divided. Let us stand together as those who did in the olden days, who stood together and paved the way for us. Let us continue to show an example, the way they showed us the example, that we are stronger in numbers. We are stronger working together. And That doesn't mean that we won't have our disagreements. It just means that we need to see things from each other's perspectives, try to understand a little bit better what each of us is trying to communicate, to show that witches are not closed to other people's ideas, but that they are open and willing to listen, willing to understand, and willing to not judge. Because that's who we are as witches. We are people of the earth who allow others to practice what they want, as long as it's not infringing on our own freedom. And when it does, we stand up for ourselves and we stand up for what we believe, because we are worthy of believing what we want to believe, just like everyone else is worthy of believing what they want to believe. And nobody should be forced to believe anything that they don't want to believe. So the Five of Wands is saying, use your passion to help each other. Use the fire within you, your wand, your magic, to create harmony, to create unity, to create magic, to create love. And don't destroy each other, because that's what people did in the olden days. They destroyed the witches. And why should we destroy each other when there's enough people out there who are going to try to bring you down and cause you to stumble? So that's what I believe the message is from the witches of old, the heritage of those of us who call ourselves witches. And I think that even if you're not a witch, you can see the value of this message. And so yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for Neo Pagan November, day 14. And until next time, blessed be.